Do you ever work to get stuff done? Do you ever jump in and just try different things? Do you ever work and perfect your craft just by sheer discipline and getting in and making things happen and making things move? I hope so. If you don't, you may want to check into this episode of Mr. Benja's ADD Experience Live, special BenjaCon edition for 2021. We've got artist, illustrator, entrepreneur, if you want to call him that, designer, Joshua Moreno. He's going to be on here giving us his insight. Cool guy I met. You'll be able to hear that little story pretty soon. And yes, I am 5 minutes late on this one. I try to be like, around the time, but something came up and it was just like, a little thing here. It's just production issues, man, but whatever. It's Instagram TV. Nobody really cares, right? Anyway, let's go ahead and start connecting in. And we're going to definitely talk about all different aspects of this thing. So if you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, make sure you drop them in the chat.
Yeah, and good.
We are live, except you're about 90 degrees off.
That? Or like this?
Yeah.
All right. I got to do this then. All right.
Yeah, how you feeling, man?
Good, bro. How about yourself?
Doing good. So yeah, man, you were about to be the final closeout episode here, but we got a special guest added on. So you're the lead in and you're the closeout, like the guy before the last.
Whatever. I'm just happy to be here, man.
It's all cool. It's all cool. So you've been kicking out a lot of stuff, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I try to. Always gotta do something, can't stop moving forward, I guess.
Yeah, and that's definitely the basic vibe I wanted to get from you and why I had you on. Really quickly, we met at the Bixby Art in Bixby Park. That was the name of it exactly.
Yep.
And I had a booth there. I'm not sure you had a booth at the time or you had a booth at another one, but we ended up speaking somehow. I don't remember exactly how that happened. How do you remember it?
I think my wife met you first.
Okay.
And talked to you, and then she introduced us. I did have a booth, so that's why I think. And then we collided because you had a booth when you were doing the 8-bit.
Right.
Small pieces and the little itty bitties, and I remember those were cool, man. And yeah, I dug those, and then
I got one around here somewhere. All right, go on.
Hey, no, I feel you, man. Is that you behind you though?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I always liked that stuff, so I always thought it was fun, And then I was just like, we talked, and then, I don't think you were at the next one after that I was at.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you just showed up, and then I met a lot of cool cats at that one,
Yeah, definitely. For whatever reason, that little park event, some very cool people came through, and I was glad that I met you. And yeah, right off the bat, I was like, okay, this guy is in there making stuff. You had a style that was able to, yeah, I'm sorry, because I was looking through the stuff in your booth. I do remember that now. Totally looking through all the materials and items, like, hey, man, that's cool. And oh, you did this little style here, and you did that. And really quickly, we just started chatting it up. Right. And the definite vibe that I got from you was like, this guy creates. A lot of artists and creatives don't do as much creating as I think they should. And I think they kind of hold themselves back. But you're definitely one of the ones who jumps in and keeps going.
Thanks.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about how you got into the art thing, how you started that.
Well, I mean, I started when I was young.
Okay.
I went to. You ever heard of Mission Renaissance or anything like that? It's like a little art thing that was they had a little Mission Renaissance. You start with charcoal, then pastel, and then watercolor, then oil paint. And it took me a few years to get, but it takes, and then I stopped, and then I went to high school.
Yeah.
And then I found graffiti art, and then that was just, I loved the spray can, and that was great.
Yeah.
And then you get kind of in that world, and then I joined the military. So then,
Okay.
and then even there, I still did some stuff in the military too. I was still drawing, and even in combat, I had took a sketchbook with me, and
Yeah.
I would draw out there, and get yelled at by the homies because my music would be loud, and I'd be up. They're like, "Why are you up?" I'm just like, "Yeah, listen to some wild shit that somebody sent me."
Yeah. So how do you? I don't know of many graffiti artists and people with your style that ended up in the military. So what made you decide to do that?
Like legit, the truth, like what happened, like the straight up how I ended up in that thing. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I'll tell you
Okay.
straight up, dude. I'll tell the world right here since we're on live. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
If you ain't hearing it now, I might not say that shit again unless I write a book. But I was going to Glendale Community College at the time, and that was I live off of Verdugo Road right here in Eagle Rock, and Glendale's right next to it. And Verdugo goes pretty far. It's a couple mile walk, to the college. And I went there one day, and we got into arguing with my grandma about not working. You know what I'm saying? And then, we didn't have no money. I was kind of broke. I didn't even have enough money to take the bus back down the damn street. I had no smokes, but I had a joint in my pack that I was like, all right, cool. So I sparked it, started walking. And then this was when the recruiting office was still right there on Colorado and Verdugo, right across.
Okay.
And I just stood there for a second, and I was just like, you know what? If I walk straight back down that road, I'm going back straight the same zone, And then so I looked over and I saw the recruiting office, and I was like, all right, let's go there. Why not? Then I was pretty stoned, and I walked into the Marines, and they were all like, all right, have a seat. All right, where'd you go to high school? I was like, I didn't go to high school. They're like, what? I was like, well, dropped out at 9th grade. They're like, all right. And then I was like, all right, cool. They're all like, well, see ya. Go talk to the Army. And this is in 2001 still. So this is 9/11 just happened.
Right.
So I was like, all right, screw it. And I walked over to the Army. I literally walked in there. I was like, bro, I have no high school diploma, no GED, but I got 15 college units from Glendale Community College. They're like, have a seat.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, solid. And then they're all like, what do you want to do with the military? I was like, what's the hardest shit you got, And they were like, scout, recon. Yeah. I was like, a lot of people argue with that one with me, but I was like, sure, I'll take it. And at the time.
Yeah, so why would you ask for the hardest thing? That's great.
If you're going to do something, why not do it all the way?
Respect. I respect it.
I mean, I don't know. Like, me and my brother had that conversation the other day, too. It's just like, you either go all the way or you don't do shit at all, right? Like, I was like, that sounds about right. It sounds about like how we are. So, and I mean, yeah, from there it was just, I stayed in for 6 or 7 years. And then, got out because I met my wife my last year and a half. My last tour, I came back, and then I met my wife. And then at that point, it was either like in the military, like around 6-7 years, it's like shit or get off the pot type shit. Like you either do the lifer thing and stay in 20 because you've already almost done half.
Yeah.
Or you get out. So I chose to get out because I wanted a family.
Right.
So, and then got out, and then I did construction work for about a year and a half or something like that, and then I was just like, nah. And then I hit reset, bro. Like I was like, what do I want to do? And I know that I had a GI Bill, so I was like, reset. Let's just go back to school for art. Start there.
Yes.
And this time, not go to Glendale Community College and go to PCC where the homie told me to go to begin with.
Okay.
And then from there, 3 years later, Art Center, 5 years later, a degree.
Nice.
And somewhere in there, I think year 4 is when I met you at Art Center.
Okay. Okay.
So somewhere around that area is when we met at the Bixby Park thing.
Right, right.
So
That's a cool journey, man. I love it.
it ain't
th-
over
th-
yet.
that's right. That's right.
It
We
just
keep
started.
going. Yeah, man. You know, I like what you said about, going for the hardest thing. And I listen to a lot of hip hop rap,
Yeah.
and I remember Diddy said, hey, if you're gonna go that way, go the fuck that way.
Right.
And Jay-Z, don't don't run from problems, go towards them. And I'm like, that's the kind of vibe I had a lot of times. And so I'm totally feeling you there. Now, like a lot of people don't get how that builds creativity and personal character.
Right.
Is that something you always had, that go in there, find out what's the big deal, make something happen,
Um, I
put
don't
a
know.
headlock on it?
So like one of my buddies might say I do. Some might say I don't. I mean, I don't. I'm not sure. I'm definitely, like, me and my wife talked about it with the skate park thing. Like,
Yeah.
I could go to a skate park and talk to the locals like it's nothing. Like, I've
Mhm.
known them for like ever, and maybe it's because I've been skating since I was a kid. So it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, I'm comfortable in that scenario and situation. Whereas in the art and all that, I'm still new to that. So for
Yeah.
me, it's still I can jump in. Like, I don't mind jumping in because, I mean, that's kind of how it is. It's like, I mean, jumping in a conversation, they're only going to deny you. It's not like a firefight where they're like, you die.
Right.
Or a video game, you get reset. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
restart and continues and lives and shit. So I mean, I guess you could say, like, I don't know. It's more just like a do or die type thing. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
it's not going to kill me, so why not just
I think
do it?
that, yeah, no, I get it. And I think that attitude is very liberating. You get in a situation and it doesn't go right, and you walk out and you're like, hey, well, it happened that way, and you can laugh about it.
Yeah.
But then you've got like 8 or 9 of your friends around you who are laughing, not, they're laughing, but they're on the outside laughing.
Right.
You're like, I experienced that. I got whatever experience that was.
Right.
And I think that says a lot about, you and what you're doing, especially with the skateboarding. That style is, I mean, that lifestyle is just that's what it's about. It's not jumping in, dropping in, like with the ramps and everything.
I just enjoy it. I mean, I skate. I've been skating. I got my mini ramp back there, and
Yeah.
then I've been skating pools more and hurting myself and all
Did
that
you
good
build that?
jazz. Yeah, I built that one back here, over there.
Yeah.
That's
Awesome.
out of most of it's out of some old paintings. So
Okay.
I did some pretty big paintings in college.
Okay.
I mean, the full sheets of plywood.
Right. Right.
Like, all right, what do I do with these giant things that are just sitting under my house taking up space?
That's wild.
And then I was kind of like, you know what? Here, I'll show you. Check it out. So, because, like, I left the paintings on the other side.
Yeah.
So my art's still art. It's still there.
Everybody watching, we're getting the live action here of this is excellent. Have not gotten this before. So this is a skate ramp he built himself.
This is my mini. It's called the Death Ramp. It's pretty crappy right now. But,
yeah.
So, I mean, this is an image I did. This was actually an image of a guy, what do you call it, laying down by a buddy that was dead by, what do you call it, his grave.
Yeah.
Took a couple of shots, and then this is actually what a soldier looked like. Remember when the outbreak in Africa happened with what was that?
Ebola, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's actually what they looked like when they were fighting the fire. When they were fighting it, it's not a ray gun, dude, or futuristic. That was like,
Yeah.
that was a soldier's. So it's like repurposing art,
Yeah. Yeah.
I brought some stuff too. Like, here's some like decks that I've done. Like, so this is my intrusive board, one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then So
This
this
is
is all,
sick, bro.
all art that I created. This one's really special to me because this one was actually in a show.
Yeah, yeah.
With like Lance Mountain, Ed Templeton, and a lot of the skate greats.
Holy shit, man! I love it.
And then when they give you props, they're all like, "Whoa, that's pretty dope." Board, you know, you're like, "Whoa!" Like it's one of those moments, those aha moments. You're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
all right, cool." And then like this is a brand that me and my buddy created.
Okay.
A tactical hunting crew, THC.
THC, yeah.
So you know, man, I'm just trying to live the dream now. After, and it's like one of
yeah. So everybody watching, I'll be sure to link this all up. But that's Intrusive Skateboards, and it's part of your umbrella that you've got there.
Yeah, I got a pretty wide umbrella. Everything I fall in love with, I tend to just kind of do.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just kind of like I said, go all in, right?
Right,
all
right.
in it or not in it.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why I'm doing this thing. I was like,
I love this.
You know what? I started doing a little live thing on Facebook, and I was like, okay, well, live is kind of popping off on Instagram. I don't know how it works really. I was just kind of fumbling through searching for answers. And I was like, the best way to get answers is, jump in, drop in, do your whole thing, and you find out fast enough. And that's what I wanted to do here. And talking to artists, designers, developers, creatives, anybody, and really finding out what makes their creativity tick, getting the different angles, getting the different, layers and sides of creativity. Right. So that's why, that's what the whole thing was about. And I met you at Bixby, as we said before.
Yeah.
And all the people here I've met at an art fair, a Comic-Con, or had some type of, social artistic gathering that brought me to these people. So,
right.
Yeah, that's the vibe.
I love it.
And thank you for definitely stopping through all the a couple of the other ones to check them out.
It was great. I mean, not lying. It's like hearing their stories is kind of like it was inspiring. Besides the fact that I'm like, all right, cool. I don't know what I'm talking about, but like,
yeah.
But it was like I really vibed with was it Patrick, right?
Yeah.
I liked his story. What I enjoyed about that is like something I was able to vibe with him on. He was a dad. Like,
yes,
he's trying to do his thing as a parent, as a husband, as a father. I got the same issues, you know what I'm saying? And then you're sitting there trying to figure out how to break free, how to break free from a world of that's just, bam, dude. Everybody's an artist now, dude. You grab an iPad, you're an artist. Grab an iPhone, you're a photographer. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no. It's trying to break free through that, and it's kind of like, all right, I guess with like Intrusive, I was like, all right, Intrusive, I was like, all right, I really want to make really cool looking boards. Like, I was just like, I have the means to, and then I have a guy in Huntington that does custom skateboards, and then the printing, zeroed in printing. I started printing with DM13 out of college. I got picked up there, and he wanted one image, and the whole time in college, you're thinking in my head, I was just like, oh, okay, I'm a comic books. I'm gonna do anything but what I'm doing.
Right.
Like, okay. I was just like, oh, it just kind of made sense though to do this. I was doing the printing and over there for him, and then I was like, damn. And then what basically almost got me doing it is I ended up getting extreme carpal tunnel.
Okay.
In my drawing arm, so I can only draw so much now.
Right.
So before the pain kicks in and I can't really create. So then you're sitting there like, all right, I just did this college thing and this thing. So now I'm like, all right, well now I learned a trade. So let's do this thing. You know what I'm saying? And that trade thing costs a lot of money to start up.
Mhm.
but it's so worth it. You know, I mean, like I've met people, have new clients, have returning clients. It's great, you know, and it's kind of taken a worry of being a freelance designer off my table.
Right.
Whereas now I could create freely and do whatever the hell I want with Intrusive or anything like that, and not really care too much about content because
Yeah.
that's not the main income.
Okay. Yeah,
So
and you have the option to now. You have a little more of a bit of hand when you're reaching out to people. You're like, hey, I can do this for you. I can do this printing,
correct.
and as opposed to if you were just just on the illustration
Agree. Yeah.
logo design side. It's like, hey, I can make a picture. Like, well, I can get one off Google. It's like, well, can you print it up? And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I guess I do need you.
Correct. So exactly, and it's exactly that. You know, like okay, now the person that's all like, I can just get an image off the Google. Exactly that. I got you. Let's print. I don't have
Exactly.
to worry about the freelance part. And one thing too is aesthetics. You know,
Mhm.
I don't have to worry about people liking my aesthetics anymore.
Yes.
That
Yes.
takes it off the plate. Like that's off the table completely. I'm like, you can't not like the printing process. You can, I mean, you can or you can't. Like, you either like it, you either
Yeah.
like DTG printing or you don't like DTG printing.
Yeah.
That's it. You
Yeah.
know, like there's
And as you said, you printed that shirt yourself, right?
yeah.
Or
This is and it's a nice print. You know, it's
yeah.
nothing. You know, and it took me, I don't know, 10 minutes out of my time to do it.
Yeah.
So like, and that's kind of how I look at it. I was like, I always get freshy shirts. I don't have to worry about it. People get freshy shirts from me, and you know, I really enjoy that. You know, I enjoy. You know, honestly, I enjoy helping other brands um, excel and move forward
Okay.
because that's how I felt when I was a freelance designer. I was just like, I wanted to always help brands move them forward. Like DM13, I did a lot of their branding. I did things for them I never did in college. Like they didn't teach me how to like do certain things.
Yeah.
I just had to
Yeah.
figure it out.
I remember several of your posts. I was like, okay, this is cool. And I got to see like a different side of your work.
Right.
Whenever someone does a project, obviously you're like, oh, okay, well, that's how their aesthetic, their idea, their flow is applied to this situation.
Correct.
Yeah. I want to jump back really quickly before I forget. I do remember you showing up in Patrick Hickey's our discussion with Patrick, and I think you made a comment, and I scribbled down a note because it really stuck with me. You said, "My kid made me faster."
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
1000%.
tell us a little bit about how that. I mean, what that means. When you're talking
All
about art and design development, my kid made me faster.
right. So going to art center, there's a certain degree of savagery, I would say, you have to be.
Yeah.
Either skillful, speed, both, whichever you want it, however you want to look at it as. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, I was told by my design, one of my favorite illustration teachers I had at PCC, he's like, you have the work ethic, you have the drive. He's like, skill you can build. He's like, don't worry about skill right now or style. He's like, just keep doing you. And when I got to Art Center, I was like, whoa, like these kids are savage. I have competition. Like there's like competition. Like, and not too many people get jobs outside of college, like it's a true thing. You don't just, anywhere you go, you don't just get to, oh, I got this dope degree. Yeah, someone's going to hire me. And
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like, not even kind of. Like, so sometimes it is people that
Yeah.
like I got my first job because I was a TA. My teacher brought a friend over, but I still had to sell myself to the guy, and he still had to like my work.
Totally.
That's still, he brought him, but I still had to sell it, and but I mean, but working wise though, man, okay, having we'll just say my first semester, 6
Okay.
classes, because they don't let you choose. They throw you to the wolves off the bat. 6 classes, all drawing classes or all in classes are 5 hours long.
Oh,
Right. Okay, so they already got you going on a 40-hour work week.
huh. Okay.
Then you still got to do this damn fucking homework, which
Yeah.
is just about 20 hours long. So now they got you going on a 60-hour work week, right?
Yeah.
All right, now chuck in a kid, bro, and a wife. And you're just like, bam, bam. And the kid was a baby, brand new baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, they actually were going to give me more scholarship if I would have started earlier, and I told them I can't. They wanted me to start one semester early, and I couldn't. And they're all like, well, why can't you? And I was like, I just had a kid like 3 days ago. And they're all like, oh, that's a good reason. Yeah, we'll see you next semester, you know what I mean? And then,
Yeah.
and so now you got like this little tiny human, you're all like, you know, like,
Yeah.
man. And then that's what I mean. Like, okay, so now you got 20 hours of work to do. And I mean, my mom helped me, my grandma helped me. It was a lot, you know. Like I got
Yeah.
to my grandma, then she broke her back, and she couldn't help me, so then my mom had to help me even more.
Right.
It was crazy, man. It was some tribulations right there, bro.
Yeah.
You're just like, whoa, and then you know you get to a point, then like the kid is in there, so you're trying to make sure the kid doesn't destroy your art. So you have to make sure you have enough art for the kid to do while you do your art, so she don't destroy your art. It was great. It was mind blown, but I got pretty fast because you get faster and faster and faster just because I'm like, all right, I got to bang this out.
Yeah.
All right, there's the kid. All right, I got 20 minutes. All right, let's get this wash in here. And then boom,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
And then just walk away, go feed the kid, clean the kid or whatever. And then I'm like, all right, cool, play with the kid for 15, 20 minutes. And then she's back in her zone, ready to go back to sleep. And then came back down. It was, I don't know, man. It was a juggle.
I get it, man. But there's, correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, there's definitely a bit of, you know, you know, there were tribulations, as you said, and I totally get that. But on the flip side, it's also a support and driving system, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because I mean, like, what's gonna drive you more, like being a broke artist, or feeding a family so you're not broke artist?
Right.
Like, I
Right.
really hate starving artists. I hate that comment.
Yeah.
Like, I do, because you know, I mean, I got told that at Art Center my first semester. You know what I'm saying? And I had to take the design. I didn't know how to use anything computer. I didn't know how to do anything. I was 100% traditional. You know, like went in there. I was just like pen, ink. That's what I loved. You know.
Yeah.
And then I had a teacher, and I was just like, why do I gotta learn all this, man? I'm an illustrator, man. I know this ain't me, man. He's like, you're not an illustrator, bro. You're a designer. You're here at a design school. You're not here at illustration school.
Yeah. So how do you
I
make
was
that?
like, huh.
What's the distinction there? Like when people ask and you say designer, what does that mean?
I feel a designer is more all around, you know, like a jack of all trades. Like, should be a jack of all trades. Like, can I paint? Of course I can paint. I was trained to paint. Can I paint a person like super realistic? In college, I got really close to it. Now I'm not really, because I don't train for it. I don't care to. Like, that's just not my. If I started, like, if I wanted to, probably I just have to remember. The memory banks will come back, and boom, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, it's just like, it's still kind of like run and gun, like art for me. I love run and gun art, bro. It's bang it out, get it done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if anything takes me longer than maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, I don't want to do it. Like, not on a design level, but like on a personal drawing level. Like, I sketch pretty fast. Like, so if I want to sketch out something, I bang it out, and then I'm like, all right, do I want to do this or do I not want to do this? And then some days you're just like, man, it looks like this straight garbage.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I'm not even gonna draw today, dude. Like,
Yeah.
So I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like I like the run and gun art, but don't get me wrong. Sometimes you're just like, this sucks.
Yeah.
So
And,
you got both days. I mean, it's nothing's definite.
no, but that's part of the process.
Exactly.
And it amazes me how many artists or creatives in general, they get stuck in this, I need to create the perfect thing. And they really get held back by just trying to fashion something kind of correct. If you're partway through it and you're like, it wasn't my thing, you move on to the next one.
Right.
I don't know if you, I read this book a long time ago, Art and Fear.
Okay.
And it was based around this study that they did in an art institute school of some type or whatever. And basically what they did was they tasked all these students to create these artistic vases. And they said, hey, this one group, they're going to present like 1 or 2 vases and they're going to spend their entire semester working on them. The other group of students, they're going to bang out 100 vases as fast as they can. And we're just going to, they'll show us their best at the end, right? And all these kids are like, man, we don't have time to do all the, oh man, we got to get this and that. And oh man, we don't have enough time to do 100. Where are we going to keep them? They're like, yeah, don't worry. We'll give you the space. Trust, and all the students who had to do 100 were pissed off. They didn't think they could do it. And they were, it's just, and they felt like they were being slighted. Right. And whereas the artists who were doing like the 1 or 2, they got in their head and they were like, yeah, I'm going to, create this great artistic vision. And
correct.
And you know how this story ends.
Yeah.
All the kids who were doing the 100 works of art and just banging through them as fast as possible, they had brilliant ideas. Some of them were able to focus on like a certain, way of doing it. It's like, yeah, I had to spend time figuring out this way of, glazing and doing this and that. And I learned it and perfected it. So that's one thing I tell people. I'm glad you're one of the first on who's really touched in that area. It's like, get in there, bang some stuff out, like it, don't like it, whatever, then bang out the next one.
Yeah. Well, because you can't, I learned early from one of my teachers, you can't be emotionally attached to any of this shit, man. You have to be able to throw it away, burn it, whatever, because you're going to be better tomorrow. You're going to be better the next day. So concept-wise, do I have some good concepts when I was in college? Yeah, because I was like, bah, you exploded me of like all kinds of stuff. I was like, I'm down for the causes, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm like, well, shit, I got family to feed. And like, I can't be about causes that don't bring in some form of revenue. Like, that's the reality of things, like, oh, that's what I was gonna say about why I like Patrick is why he did everything as a parent, but he made his own lane, like you said, made his own lane. He's like, there ain't no history books about video games, and no one knows the struggle, so I'm gonna make a book about the struggle that these guys went through. I'm like, that's inspiring, bro. Because it's like I've been wanting to write. I love writing. Before I went to Art Center, I was contemplating writing or art. I didn't know which one I wanted.
Okay.
So I like both. So my wife still says I'm going to write a book one day, and I agree with her, and I keep trying. And I get like one chapter into it, and I'm just like, I'm over it. And like,
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you get into it. I mean, maybe one day, like, when I really feel like I have something to say. But that's just inspiring. Like, I was just like, and it opened up his own world, his own zone, like. And for me, like, I mean, there's a lot of people that do the skating thing. There's a lot of people that make graphics and all that stuff. I just like my graphics on a skateboard. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And it's not enough. There's not a lot of companies that do it, and there's not a lot of companies that do what I do. Even with that or not with that, even with my GTG printing, I don't do a minimum.
Yeah.
And since I don't do a minimum, everybody's like, what? You don't do minimums? I'm like, I don't do minimums. So people are like, oh, wow. Can I print something? Of course you can print something. I don't do minimums. There's no minimum. I do one. I might have a maximum, but like I don't know what it is yet because I haven't had such a big enough order to be like, okay, I can't handle this much.
Right.
So I haven't gotten to that point, but I can handle one. So, and the biggest run I've done is 70.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that in 2 days. So, I don't know. I don't know what a maximum run would be, but I know I don't handle minimums.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I looked at it.
So do you ever get approached a lot for doing art prints?
Like
just on paper, speckled or whatever, or is it all pretty much shirts?
Oh, it's all it's just gear. It's a
Gear.
shirt.
Okay.
I'm starting to branch out. I've talked to another company, and then I go through them for like I said, like I did my hats. I like the work that they do. So I add that.
Okay.
Babe, I never said writing is not creative artistry, woman. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I just said I haven't done it because I can't get out more than what I'm doing. So blah. That's to my wife. I saw her little line right there.
Hello. What's up, Amanda?
Back to it though. No, it's what was it again? Sorry.
No, I was just asking about the paper printing on paper.
Oh yeah, I mean, I actually they say I can print on paper. I just haven't done it yet. Like,
okay.
I just mainly just print on shirts, and then like I said, I'm starting to utilize other companies now to get stuff done as well. So for clients as well. So for me, DTG printing has been more like apparel. I really like doing that, and I want to do it for artists as well. But I mean, small businesses like salons, or like I just did a run for the district my wife works in for Starbucks. So I mean, everybody needs shirts for something. So
no, totally.
Becoming a service was kind of nice. Like it's relieving and a pain in the ass in a whole different way.
Relieving is an interesting word. How does?
I don't have to sell you. I don't have to sell you a design. I just have to say, hey, do you want your shirt? You want your, even you like, hey, that'd be a cool design on that you have right there. Like I can get all those tones on there. It's not a screen print, and like you're like, oh yeah, I'm like man, like all even on the purples and and then I don't have to worry about selling you my design. I just have to sell you the service.
Yeah, no, I remember you talking about. I remember you mentioned printing at some point, and I was like printing, and I poked around a little bit, and then found the zeroed in printing thing kind of early. So no, I was totally looking for it.
Have you ever seen a DTG printer?
Yeah.
So I mean, it doesn't take up crazy space. So I have it in the corner of my studio, and then I have like the pre-treat machine and the thing. It's nicely lined against the wall. It doesn't take up a lot of space, and it doesn't kill my electrical bill like I thought it would be.
Ah, okay, good. So
becoming a service, I think, is probably it's a great thing. Like even what you're doing right here, like this is just awesome. Like
it's also an exploration as well, and I think that's what happens when you interface with people. I honestly didn't like Instagram very much. I thought there were a lot of posers, a lot of people just doing a show and tell, hey, look at me kind of thing. And I felt it was the least social of the social networks, and this is just a personal, it's not like I, so yeah, jumping in comments and everything. I realized a lot of people were just posting, a bunch of thumbs up and a bunch of hearts, and, and then I come in there with the real comment like, hey man, that's really cool. Have you ever thought of this and that? I don't know, because it seems like that's your style. Don't know if you ever run into whatever. And someone's like, oh, an actual comment. And, they'll reply. And I'm talking about, people who there's like this guy in Miami. He runs a bunch of Miami real estate. He's got over 1 million followers and everything, Grant Cardone. And he's like, oh, an actual comment.
Grant Cardone? Is that
Grant Cardone, yeah. He's like, oh yeah, an actual comment. He's like, thanks, dude. I just keep it up and do this and that. And I was like, what? So it's, I started feeling like, okay, these actual people, connecting on social media. One thing led to another. And next thing I was like, you know what? Let me just go here, boop, press live, see what happens, start talking to people, and then this time of year came around, and now I'm doing a week full of these things, which I didn't think I'd be doing, but I did it anyway. And it's just now I'm starting to understand connecting with people on Instagram a little better.
I mean, I dig it though. Like I said, I mean, like I've been watching this. And I've watched some of your other live shows too. I don't understand some of the content
Okay.
because I just don't know it, like But I'm like, I tune in and I'm like, all right, cool, because I'm always gonna hear something that I can relate to, or something, some kind of like, oh, okay, I didn't think about that, or think about like that, or think about it like that, like just talking to humans, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, dude. Like that's how I feel like with the whole COVID thing. It kind of threw me off because like I was a very outgoing person prior to COVID, and currently I've been very reserved, and like I'm starting to want to branch back out again and leave the comfort of my home.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't because of COVID. It was just like a lot of things happened over the year, so I kind of like became more reserved and more introverted than I would like. So I'm actually really liking what's going on here. It's helping me get back out and wanting to talk to people again. I've had old clients hit me up again, and they're all like, "You need to get back out there again." And like I'm like, "Oh, okay." So like it's awesome that even just being you thinking putting me on the show is great. I love it.
Oh yeah, man. Iron sharpens iron, man. That's one of my things that I always say. So definitely. Real quick, let me go through it. Hey, I want to say thanks to Knights of G, 89 Shrek, Amanda, Ruth Gonzalez, all the people coming through, man. Love you. Thank you for your energy. Navy Montel, official Eddie P, who was on earlier. Awesome. Love it. Everybody, be sure if you're watching this to make sure to leave a comment later on the actual post. Just say hi. Let us know what you're thinking about, and we'll keep this thing going.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to let's see, other notes I had here. Oh, you mentioned barber therapy, and what does that mean to you? Because it means a certain thing to me. But
I don't know. Like I mean, for a while I have a barber. He might have joined in, but he does it right for me, man. Like I got this little side part right here that always pops out, and he just figured out how to make it stay the hell down. And I was like, yeah. But talking to him though, it's like I told the wife this because like I used to see somebody because at war and stuff like that. It helps.
Yeah.
But then I stopped because for whatever reason, and then I need to talk to somebody. And I started going to, instead of getting a haircut once every like 6 months, I went and then I got a haircut and I talked to him, and then it became like I went again 2 months later, and then I went again 2 months later, and then I was like, now I went last month, and now I want another haircut.
Yeah.
So I used to get haircuts once a week in the military.
Right.
So even talking to the barbers on base, like you get a barber you like, you talk to them, it becomes like your little outlet. You can talk to them, tell them all kinds of stuff. Whatever. They don't, because it's like really the one person probably that, it's like a therapist, like one person that ain't nobody gonna talk to. Like none of my friends go to my barber, and I don't go to none of my friends' barber. Probably for that reason, mentally.
Huh.
Like even when I was in the Army, I didn't go to the same guy, like the same people that cut my buddies' hairs. I would go find somebody else. And half the time I go find me a brother because them guys know how to cut hair in the South, man.
Yeah, you know what's funny? You know what's funny about black barbers that I didn't know? My cousin's one, but he told me, he's like, a lot of the tests and a lot of the things that you do in barber school, it's not black hair.
Right.
But that's what they make you learn. So he's like, well, yeah, we have to learn everybody's hair, and then we have to learn how to do our own hair. So It's like this double learning, because you can't just say I went to barber school and then you can't do your literal brother's hair or your cousin's hair or something, So it's like, it was like, oh, okay, I never thought about that. I never, it just never crossed my mind.
Right. But I mean, my cousin, she cut my hair for a while too. She went to school for it, and then she did it for a while because she would come to the house. But honestly, like having the dude that you can go to, that nobody else goes to or something, then you could just be like, Yeah, just talk to the dude. Like, it's like, especially he's not in the shop no more. He got his license. I mean, he already had a license, but he got all the things we need to do it at home, and he set up a shop outside. So it's even more like more personal. And
Yeah.
it's just like, I don't know. It's just my wife even was like, go get more haircuts then.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. I did not mention it in this series of live videos yet, but
Sorry.
I love it. Excitement in the neighborhood.
It's always popping over here in Echo Park, man.
Oh, that's right. You're in Echo Park. Excellent. Yeah. Um, yeah. Shepherd Ferry's studio is not too far from you.
Right.
Studio number 1. I've hung out there a couple times.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Who I'm talking about, obviously, or do you? Okay.
Yes.
Some people, just miss the whole Shepherd Ferry thing, and I don't know how
No,
that
I get it.
happens. But yeah, I actually I started growing my hair out because I had a falling out with my barber.
Nice.
And it just reminded me of a lot of my barber interactions where I'm trying to tell them something and they were telling me, no, you need to do this and do that. And nothing against barbers at all. But this particular barber, he's cutting my hair and I'm telling him about, like, look, man, I'm trying to do this at Sony. I'm trying to work with these people. They're not letting me create this way, and I'm trying to do this, and they keep on, pulling the rug out from under me, giving me obstacles. And, my energy's too good for that, man. My energy's too good. I got to keep working. And he's like, yeah, man, you need to calm down. And I'm like, this is good energy. What do you mean calm down? I need to find an outlet. I don't need to calm down and turn my energy down. And he's like, yeah, I don't agree with you. And the thing that he said that really stopped me was he's like, because he stopped cutting my hair and, just kind of stood back for a second and said, you need to learn how to play ball.
Ooh.
And I was like, what?
Some tact.
Yeah, I was like, play ball? Come on, man. I get it, but
I get it. Yeah.
it wasn't helpful at the moment.
That's never helpful.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, man, we can still work together. I'll refer people to you. You're my boy, but I'm going to go away for a little while and just be crusty, hair for a bit. And yeah, my hair got wild. And he was like, yeah, your hair is wild. And I'm like, look, man, I'm not caring right now. I need to figure out this energy thing. And so it was actually kind of a blessing, that he stopped me in that way. But yeah, it was a weird barber relationship. He actually got me to realize, like, hey, I was trying to play their game. In order to play their game, I needed to learn how to play ball.
Right.
But otherwise, go play my own game. And so he kind of set that off in my head, and I was like, you know what? And I didn't think about it, but kind of as a thing, I ended up growing my hair out. And I think I always subconsciously related that to, the whole playing ball thing. So
right. Well, I mean, like, me and him were talking. I think, like, so I just turned 40. And,
congratulations.
Like, thanks. And then we were talking, and like, it's like me and my wife talk about it too. It's not about like a midlife crisis or anything like that. We were talking, and I was just like, man, I don't know, man. Like, I want to stand toe to toe in a ring with somebody, dude. Like, and he's just like, so you're telling me is you just want to make sure you still got it, bro, at 40. That's all you want. You don't want no fancy fast car. You just want to know that you still got it. And I was just like, I don't know, in the past maybe like month or so, I'm thinking that, there's like small, like, when life throws you little signs.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, like kind of like what you said about Grant Cardone, like you actually write a comment or like that. Kind of like David Goggins did that with me, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, just the fact that he even just liked the damn thing that I wrote, because I didn't say anything about him. I was just kind of like bitching about me being fucking 40 and 20s. In my 20s, I was savage in the military. In my 30s, taking risk, and now I'm 40, trying to take risk again. And just said thanks to the dude, because like honestly, the last like year of college, it was because of like shit that he said that got me through through it.
Yeah.
And I lost, I think, 35, 40 pounds because I didn't want to cross the stage. I didn't want to get my diploma of being big and overweight.
Yeah.
So I got down to, I think, 203.
Excellent, man.
From like 255. So, and it was just like certain things like that, and I was just like, oh, this dude is like, damn. So people are listening. So people are watching. People are paying attention.
Yeah.
Like that's why I'm saying like this is really cool because people do care. And people are watching. It's pretty interesting. It's made social media has made the world a lot smaller and a lot easier to connect with people of stature that you couldn't before.
Right.
And it almost makes everybody like watching their story. You're like, oh shit, you're just as human as I am. You're just pushing hard 20 hours a day and sleeping 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I want to push hard, I got to sleep 4 hours a day and work my ass off for 20 hours a day with whatever the hell passion you got. So
yeah.
All right. Solid.
I'm of the mindset that you don't truly know until you do the 10x thing, until you go all in or go hard on something. You don't truly know what something's like. I mean,
right.
Yeah, okay, you can go take a few shots and be like, "Ooh, well, okay, that's what basketball is like." It's like, no.
Right.
You don't know until, you hit like all these different pickup games. You've hit like,
right.
Elbows to the face. You're playing against old people who have this crazy, game or whatever, and young people who are super fast or whatever. You don't know until you're out there really hitting the court, hitting the
right.
people. And geez, it's like social media is an easy place in one respect to really get out there and just bang and see what people respond to.
Right. And that's kind of like when it comes to like creating content on the daily or just quickly, is it now become Insta art, or is it actually creating, are you creating for the gram? Are you creating for who the hell are you creating for now? Like,
yeah.
Sometimes that's why for me, I slow it down and I'm like, all right, I want to create for this board or I want a cool t-shirt because now it's not for the gram. And I learned that by like, it's interesting because I've also learned that if you don't care about the posting and all the times and all that stuff, it actually works better for you. Like,
yeah, that's pretty true weird. Across the board. Yeah.
So I was kind of like, all right, because I did the whole thing where, you try to use it and then it doesn't really work. And then like, whatever. Now it works better now than I think it ever has. And I don't really use it for work purposes almost. Like I'm not posting to post. I post because I'm like, I think people should see what a DTG printer does, not because I want you to get a print from me. This is just like, look how cool this is. I'm printing on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, it's just cool looking. and then like I'll share other people's work. Like I'm like, ooh, this is a cool t-shirt or this is a cool design or this is a cool way this guy did it. Like, I don't care. Like, who cares at this point? Like, I mean, like, I'm not taking any work from some dude in Philly, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like, I'm not taking his work away. If anything, like, shit, man, I'm helping him out maybe. I don't know, or whatever, dude.
Yeah.
But I ain't taking nobody's work, that's for sure. Everybody I get work from is local.
Nice.
You know? And it's by ear or word of mouth or some Instagram stuff, but not really. Instagram never really worked for me. So.
Yeah. You know what? It's like to me, man, and we're gonna wrap this up. It's about an hour.
Don't worry.
I think we're good. Okay, well, appreciate it. We're not gonna stay on here too much longer, but I want to be respectful of your time and thank you for.
I enjoyed this immensely, bro. This was great.
Yeah.
I have this mosquito attacking me.
Oh yeah, I get it. We were talking about Grant Cardone, the whole 10x kind of thing, and pumping stuff out. What's interesting is, like you said, once you stop trying to do it for like the algorithm or trying to format stuff in a certain way, like I kind of started the way I brand my stuff just because I kind of like it. And it works. So I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever. I can do it this way and it's fine. It works with my process. But I think I really started connecting when I started figuring out if I have this kind of idea, I format it this way, kick it out, boom. Have this kind of idea,
Right.
format it, kick it out, boom. And it started becoming a flow. And what's weird about social media is that there's so much of it out there that people can't stop and respond to everything,
Correct.
but they see stuff happening over and over. Like, I may not have caught every one of your posts and I may not have liked all of your updates, but I'm thinking in the back of my head, when a post of yours flew by and I was like, you know, Josh Moreno, I got to get him on. I got to get him on. That's because I've seen you, in the feed and everything. I've seen
Right.
what you're doing. And I think a lot of people get very upset that, well, no one's liking this or they didn't see
Right.
me. And it's like, that's not how the human mind works. They're seeing you.
Right.
It's just our bandwidth for jumping in and having these deep conversations. Well, hey, blah, 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 blah. You can't do that with every post, but
Right.
you can be seen. So, that was the big switch in my head where it's like, you know what? I'm not worried so much about the likes because a couple years down the line, someone says, yeah, I've been following your post for a year and a half now. And I'm like, what?
Who are you?
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, man.
It's interesting. And it's also interesting too, like in general casing, like as soon as you're like, oh, I remember that one dude, then you're like, oh, I'm gonna go look him up real quick. And then the minute you like three of his new posts or something,
Yeah.
like Patrick,
Mm-hmm.
I followed him because I liked what he had to say. I liked three posts, and now he's like, all his images are on my algorithm now, dude. I'm just like, all right. I mean, like, and then sometimes like I get into like just
Yeah, yeah.
like a flip thumbprint,
Yeah.
like just like thump. And my wife trips out because like she watched me the other day, like I'm watching the reels, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm literally like, I scanned through like 30, 40 reels, dude, in like 20, 30 seconds, if that. Stopped it only for what I really like. Oh, that's cool. Or
Yeah.
like if somebody's doing a reel that I know, I stop there so I can help the homie out, get on the algorithms and shit,
Yeah.
And I'm like it, watch it, and I'm like, oh, okay. But then it's like 50 more. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. But I love this stuff. I think what you're doing is great. I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to see who else you have on. I know you just threw somebody else on there. I'm gonna watch that tomorrow or
Yeah.
tomorrow. I'll watch it. I'll be on it, checking it out, dude. I dig it, bro. And if you do this next year, I'm be watching too, and I'm always watching, bro. I'm always scanning through and up on this net thing, dude.
That's how you should. You said that scout. You did the
Exactly.
scout thing, right? Yeah.
I was
Man.
in that recon thing.
Recon. Yeah. I'm sorry. The recon.
I was in that recon thing on the net, seeing who's up and seeing who's doing things, and that's even the youngsters that I saw a youngster the other day that I had him. He used to be one of my first guys on Intrusive, and I saw him the other day, and I was like, "Whoa, it's been 2 years. You're like 18 now. It's wild."
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. It's like I said, So this live thing's been great, bro. I love it. Thanks.
Awesome, man. Definitely. So you've got Intrusive Skateboards doing this thing. I love what you guys are doing. I definitely love the ramp. I totally didn't expect to see that on this live. That was excellent. And you got zeroed in printing, doing that thing, and you're just in general out there creating and you're keeping moving. I love it. So
Always.
For the creatives out there, living in this landscape the way we are now, what do you have to say from your point of view? Like, let them know what's on your mind in terms of creativity. What maybe some advice for them, I guess.
I would say on a creative level, don't take every piece so seriously. And if you could throw it away, throw it away. Like, just rip it out. Just rip it out of the damn sketchbook if you have to. Like, it's not every piece is meant to be kept. That's it. Like, if you can rip it out of your sketchbook and start another drawing, then there you go. Like, you're already that much better because It's not everything. It doesn't have to be sacred. Art's pieces can be sacred, but not every image has to be sacred. So you can get rid of it and clear up your creative mind. Because sometimes keeping around old stuff is good, but keeping around old stuff is also keeping around old ideas. They got room for new ideas.
Yeah.
So kind of like that Kelly Bundy episode with and Married with Children, when she's super smart, and then the one question, where who made the 4 touchdowns, she was like, because somebody put one extra thing in there and it took out the one thing out of her brain, bro. So that's how I feel, bro.
I kind of remember that episode. Yeah. Oh, I gotta find that now. That's great.
But that's how I feel sometimes. Like, if you really want to declutter, you really just gotta throw that shit out. Just throw out some of the old stuff that you're really just not into. I literally threw away art pieces from college in the trash about 2 weeks ago. It's great.
It's once again, it's liberating. Yeah,
liberating, bro. I was like I said, turned my ramp. I have a ramp because I have art pieces that was able to make a ramp.
Yeah.
So if you keep it, you're never going to be able to grow because it's too much. It's too much stuff. Like you're just like, damn. Like, if I kept those, so for example, like I did these, like we had to do 300 heads in this one class. And that was our final project. I think it was our final project, and we had like 6 weeks to do it. And back then, you're like 300 heads, and you have to copy like Disney character, all animation.
Yeah.
And you're like, I threw that away the other day because they taught me the skill how to draw that way. So now I draw that way. So why should I keep something that's 6 years old?
Yeah.
That looks like garbage. It was a memory, but the memory bank is up here.
Yeah.
I take what I learned. I learned how to draw. I could draw Bart if I want to. It looks exactly like Bart.
Yeah.
Like they trained me to do that because I was trained to draw for the industry. So they train you how to draw everybody's style, and they also train you how to draw that way. So why do I want to keep something from 6 years ago? Now I have paintings that I did 6 years ago that are like, whoa, these are beautiful. And they're put away.
Yeah.
And they will one day be unboxed, and hopefully one day I have a place to put the damn things. But again, 6 years old, I don't know, maybe I might just try to do that painting over again and see what happens.
Right.
Like, that's how I look at it. So my best advice to any creative, just empty it out, man. Get rid of some stuff and create some new stuff.
I love it. And that is like that's how creation works anyway. Anytime something is created, you're leaving behind some sort of refuse, right? So
right. That's it. And process is process. So why keep process pages? In a certain sense.
Yeah, that's excellent, man. Well, hey, I totally love this. I also want to congratulate you on the ducks.
Yeah. They're right here.
We got another live check-in with the ducks.
Yeah. Here. You know what? We'll everybody scope them out.
I should have asked for more of this. The whole live action here.
They're all like, dude, get away from me. And here, I'll show you. This is our nest where they keep playing. They lay my eggs right here.
Oh, back in the corner of the skate ramp.
Yep. Safest spot, bro. But yeah, I love it, man. I might as well just there.
Excellent, man. That's awesome.
This is my whole zen zone, bro. This is skatuary, bro.
Yeah. So that's where you took the picture in front of the coming out the plants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my big mama right there.
Awesome.
And yeah, I love it. I love growing. I love farming. I love all this good jazz, urban farming steez.
Yeah.
Helps also with the creative. I drew them the other day for the first time. I was like, oh, look at that. Haven't done that for a while.
Oh, you drew the ducks, you said?
Yeah. I
Okay,
sat
okay.
out here and I was like, oh, let's sketch the ducks. And I was like, huh, I haven't sketched something live for a long time.
Nice.
So and then I drew a plant and I was like, oh, this is cool. So it's good.
I love
So
it.
all right, my man.
The growth and evolution of Josh Moreno. Do you prefer Joshua or Josh? I'm sorry.
Josh is fine. Joshua,
Okay.
I mean, Josh manually. Josh is fine.
All right. So the evolution of Josh Moreno, awesome creator, badass developer, um, designer, printer, entrepreneur. I'm starting to use that word now. Listen, man, it's been great. It's been good. Appreciate your time, and thank you for coming through and showing us around your area.
For sure, man. Thank you for having me, and always, man. And can't wait to. We'll talk soon.
All right, definitely, man. We will, and I'm going to follow these up with some other posts and get some clips out of this. So we're not done here, but your work and the live thing is a-okay.
No worries.
Appreciate it.
All
All right,
right, man.
man. Take care.
Later.
Peace. All right. So excellent. That was one of the creators that gets in and creates good stuff. I was about to say good shit, but I've been trying to cut down on the cursing because I think Instagram is messing with the algorithm when you curse. It behaves a little bit differently. So I'm gonna keep it clean just to test things out. So we have one more guest to go through for BenjaCon, special guest that we just added, the hot nerd girl. Check her out. I linked her up in my story, so you can find her there. She'll be rounding us out for the entire week, and I hope you enjoyed everything here. Listen, if you have any questions on art, design, and development, I may not know, but hopefully I know somebody who does. I'm all about creating. I think creatives, or anybody who's creating, not necessarily talking about artists, painters, drawers, but maybe you're an accountant who has to create a new spreadsheet. Maybe you're working in construction and you have to create you know um, a siding with only a limited amount of materials. Everybody's creating something, and if you're not creating something, you're probably not living. I mean, literally, you're probably starting to die if you're not creating. So keep the creativity going, keep living. Check with me, post some comments, follow along, and tell your friends, because this is good stuff I'm dropping. I mean, frankly, it's kind of fire. All right. So that's it for this Saturday. Appreciate everybody who came through. Tomorrow, 8:30, a little later, we'll be on again. Love you. Thanks to everybody who came through. Paula Lopez, didn't forget you. Sketchnificent. Love what you guys are doing. I'll see you later. Bye.